Time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Remington Rand, makers of the world's #1 electric shaver, the Remington. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular Broadway columnist, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And now we're very happy to welcome back to What's My Line one of our favorite game players, the star of afternoon television, Mr. Robert Q. Lewis.
Thank you, Dorothy. To my left, a great star of afternoon television, evening television, morning television. What kind of television isn't there? Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you, dear. And on my left, the celebrated Random House publisher and columnist, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
You old stereo comic, you. I read that in Time magazine. On my left, our famous news analyst, panel moderator, the Velvet Whip, John Charles Daly.
From the businessman type, that is no mean compliment. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Once again tonight, we have some very nice people here with some very interesting occupations, all of them meant to give the panel some trouble, the occupations, and also the guests. We'll have a famous guest challenger before the panel a bit later on, but right now I think it's time for these experts to meet our first challenger, whose line has to be spotted. Will you sign in, please, ma'am? Edley? Edley Iverson, is that right, ma'am? How are you? I'm right about the E-D-L-E. Edley, is that right? Well, come here with me just a moment, if you will, and let's find out where you're from.
From Boston.
From Boston?
Yes.
Well, now, that's a town I grew up in, part way, and it's my family's town. It's very nice to have you here with us.
I'm very happy to be here, sir.
Well, it's nice to have you, and these four folks from New York will equally be happy to have you take a walk down there so that they can get to know you a bit better.
Is that a Swedish name?
Norwegian.
Hello,
Norwegian.
Norwegian name?
That is correct, sir.
How do you do?
How do you do?
All right, Miss Iverson, will you come over here, please, and sit down next to me? At this point, as you may know, the panel gets one free guess as to what your line may be, and we begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
Well, I hardly know what to say. I think that she is a ticket seller at an airport.
Mr. Lewis.
Miss Iverson is Norwegian. I imagine yes, I just found that out. You are an innkeeper in Boston, providing room and smorgasbord?
Oh, no. Miss Swedish.
I think Miss Iverson is a high wire performer.
Mr. Cerf.
I was about to say the same. I think she stands on her head at Barnum and Bailey Circus.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Miss Edley Iverson. At the same time, we will tell them what Miss Iverson's line is, and then ask the panel to dig it out. All right, Miss Iverson, you know how we score this operation?
Yes, I do.
Fine, then I shan't have to make the explanation. We will simply announce that Miss Iverson is self-employed and begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Miss Iverson, do you work indoors?
Yes.
Do you treat women in your job?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Got to have a small operation here.
I didn't say what she treated them to, John. Oh, it's going to be a no. I feel it.
We have had a careful examination of the question which you posed,
Yes,
and the score is now 1 down and no more to go.
thank you.
Actually, Miss Iverson's services are not purveyed to women.
All right.
That makes it Mr. Cerf's turn.
Miss Iverson, may I assume that they are purveyed to men?
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Do you come into direct contact with these men that you serve?
Yes.
Do you leave them in a more satisfactory condition than they were when they first meet you?
Yes.
You do? Is the improvement noticeable, visible to the naked eye?
Yes.
they come to you?
Yes.
Is the work that you do to them then more physical than mental?
Yes.
Do you, do you manipulate them in any way?
Wait a minute. Small conference. The answer to the last question is yes.
What are you waiting for, Bennett?
Do you knead and pummel them at all?
I'm sorry, sir.
Do you knead and pummel them?
Excuse me, that's a word I don't know.
Taking the two verbs, we will give you a yes.
Well, are you then in some line of massage work? What? Oh,
Wait a minute, we got to get this straight.
We withdraw the question.
I'm sorry, it's my fault, but Miss Iverson should know what the words mean before she goes on, because it might cause some confusion.
Translating the word to her tongue.
Well, I'm going to change my question, and I'm going to try to put it in the negative way. Then you do not do some kind of massage work. Is that right?
You have asked, do you knead or pummel? In these general categories, we have given you an affirmative reply.
Yes, but then Miss Iverson went into near hysterics when she found out what it meant.
Because I didn't know the word.
But now that you know, well, let me ask you, do you do some kind of massage work?
Yes, sometimes.
Are the people that you massage fully dressed when you do the massage work? Or are they lying in a rather horizontal position?
Now, Miss Iverson,
Now
you know what that is.
You're down to 8 to go. We figured that one out. Miss Kilgallen.
Miss Iverson, do you do something besides or in addition to massaging or pummeling or kneading?
Yes.
Do you use any implements in your work?
Yes.
Are you inclined to work on these gentlemen more above the neck than below the neck?
Yes.
Do you ever take anything off them?
I haven't seen anybody have so much fun on this program.
Here goes. Well, are these gentlemen in sort of tilted position rather than just lying down when you work on them?
Yes, sometimes they are.
Do you ever put any lather on their face or anything? Are you a lady barber?
A lady men's barber. And actually, if you are opening in a play anytime soon, Robert Q. up in Boston, the Hotel Touraine is the place.
She may need me, but I need her.
Well, I must...
Pummeling. How do you ever pummel anybody?
The scalp.
Need the scalp. Right?
Yes. Yes.
You think it's funny. You should have heard Miss Iverson when I said What I said to Miss Iverson is, you know, it's like when you're kneading dough for bread, and she practically blew up here. Well, Miss Iverson, I think you enjoyed yourselves. We hope so.
I did, Miss Taylor.
Needless to say, it was wonderful to have you as a guest on What's My Line. Thank you very much. All right, panel, a very good beginning. Let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Will you sign in, please, sir? Eugene White, right, sir? Where are you from, Mr. White?
Lancaster, PA.
Lancaster, PA.
That's right.
Fine. We have a custom here, and the custom is... Sorry, I blocked the applause from all the people from Pennsylvania. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We have a custom to let the panel get a better look at our challenges than they can from this point, so will you take that hike for me?
White?
Come on, Mr. White.
Is it? Pretty good.
Mr. White.
Pretty good.
All right, Mr. White, over here, please, and sit down next to me, and the panel gets one free guess as to what your line may be. And we begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think Mr. White bakes pretzels.
Mr. Lewis.
I think Mr. White is probably the only fellow who is an Oscar loser for On the Waterfront.
Miss Francis.
I think Mr. White is the physical education instructor.
Mr. Cerf.
I think Mr. White paints those hex signs on barns down in Pennsylvania.
No, I'm afraid not. Let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Eugene White. Might give them a clue for a second or two, but at the same time, we'll tell our viewers, excuse me, at home just exactly what Mr. White does. Had a frog in my throat. I got one of my sons out in the audience, and it makes me nervous. All right, Mr. White, you know how we score this operation?
Yes, sir.
Good, then I won't have to explain the rules. We can go barreling forward. I will announce that you are salaried. And let's begin the general questioning with Robert Q. Lewis.
Thank you, sir. Mr. White, is there a product connected with what you do?
There is.
Okay, is this a product that might be found in the average home?
Yes.
Might it be found outside the home?
It's possible.
I would say yes to both questions with equal values to both replies.
Good. Is this then perhaps a product that might be used by women?
Yes.
Then I might look sort of silly if I had one on right now, huh?
You would.
Is this a product that you might pick up in a department store?
Yes.
Good
Good ones.
ones.
Good ones.
And good ones. Uh-huh. Is this then a product that a gal might want to purchase? You know, Easter's coming. Around about this time of the year, might she want to?
You mean with special application to the Easter season?
With special application to the Easter season, yes.
No.
1 down and 9 to go. This is something that might be purchased at this time of the year, but it would have no application to the Easter season.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm
Specifically.
glad
Miss
because
Francis.
my girlfriend...
Well, is it by any chance useful rather than beautiful?
It is useful.
It's practical?
It is.
Should every girl have one?
I would say every girl, no matter what her estate, marital or otherwise, might find one useful, yes, wouldn't you, Mr. White?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of something other than a man, of course.
Oh, well, yes, that comes first.
Is it anything that is consumed?
No.
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. White, has this got any moving parts, this product?
It has.
Are there any wheels on it?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it bigger than a jewel box?
It is.
Is it smaller than a telephone booth?
Smaller than a telephone.
Yes.
booth, yes.
No wheels.
No.
Yes, there are no wheels, no. Merely affirming previous
Yeah, okay.
question.
Could you sit on it?
You could.
Well, would you look pretty silly if you did?
Would you feel pretty
It's
silly?
actually, let's say it is not normally used for that purpose. Some people might say you look silly. Others would like to say, well, you were tired, you know.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
But does it have any squashy aspects? I mean, would it be comfortable if you sat on it?
No.
No. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Well, let's assume that you wouldn't sit on this fool thing. If you did have it inside the house, would it be in any particular room? Would it be in one room as opposed to other parts of the house?
Would you say yes?
Yes, I think so. It'd be more likely to be in one room of the
Yeah.
house than
Okay.
Would it be more likely, for example, to be in the kitchen?
Yes.
And let us find out what it's made of. Yes. I sound like I know what I'm doing. Is it possibly metal?
Yes.
It is metal and has moving parts.
Yes.
And no wheels. Would the moving parts have to do with opening and shutting it?
Yes.
Might it then be considered a container of some sort?
Yes.
Well, what container would be inside the house as well as outside the
Oh,
house?
I know.
Ready for nets.
May we
There
have,
has been no call for a... Oh, yes? What?
may we have a conference?
15 seconds you have for a conference.
Garbage can.
Could it possibly be a garbage can?
Yes, it's a garbage can. All right, Mr. Lewis. Now you have determined that the product is a garbage can. What does Mr. White have to do with garbage cans?
He fills them.
Find out his wife filled his pretzels.
Well, I'm not going to say he empties them. He doesn't look like the type. I think he makes them.
He makes them as 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf.
I think I will take that chance and say that he does empty them.
That makes it 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
He sells them.
Sells them is right, Mr. Cerf.
I sell the red little label line for Wheeling Corrugating Company, Wheeling, West Virginia.
Are they the indoors type or the outdoors
No,
type?
they are the outs. They're not the ones you put in the ground. They're the ones with the red label. You've seen
They
them.
make them all sizes.
Very pretty, very pretty.
Lovely. All right, Mr. White, thank you.
Thank
Hope you
you.
had fun.
Thank you.
All right, in just a moment, we'll meet tonight's mystery. Come to the special feature of the program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends on the panel are blindfolded. And the blindfolds are all in place, panel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? In the case of our mystery celebrity, we get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
May I assume that you are not the President of the United States?
Yes, you can assume that, Miss Dorothy.
Well, could I hear the guest's voice? All right. When you walk down the street, do men whistle at you? I didn't hear anything.
Three coins in the fountain.
What? The answer is no, Miss Dorothy. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Oh, nuts. I didn't hear the voice. Do you have a voice? Yes, you do have a voice. Now I know why the men don't whistle at you. Are you perhaps in the entertainment world?
He's a song puzzler.
That means yes.
That means yes. All right. Are you known as a singer in the entertainment world?
3 coins in the fountain.
That means no. 2 down and 8 to go.
See why, too.
Miss Fred.
Are you a comedian? Comedian, not comedian. Not very funny.
Well, actually, I must say that we'd say yes, but that is not the entire story. Is that true?
All right. Then you are a leading man?
Diddly 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 duck.
He's a leading man, and is that your favorite song? Do you appear in pictures?
Looky what you've done to me.
Yeah.
The theater?
3 coins in the fountain.
I'm getting confused
May I
now.
assume that you were not in that picture?
Yes, you may, Miss Arlene.
Do you do something other than perform as an actor? I mean, do you dance or play a musical instrument? Do you dance? Are you known best for your dancing? Did you appear in the early part of your career with a member of your family? And was her name Adele? And are you one of the famous Astaires? Fred?
Fred Astaire.
You first.
Dorothy.
He's one of the greatest singers
He's
who
a
ever
great
lived.
singer. I have all of his.
marvelous
I have that
singer.
terrific new album, Mr. Astaire,
Thank
which
you very
is
much. Thank you.
sensational.
I just don't think so. I mean,
That's why he's
And I
great.
just bow to the opinion of our guest.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
I must say it's wonderful news, Fred. I read in the press that you've got a new picture coming, Daddy Longlegs.
Yes,
and
yes.
I understand it's wonderful. I'm taking deaf to hear you
Well,
back in.
thank you very much. We have hopes for the picture. It looks okay, I think. And I have a wonderful little girl in the picture. The real little star is Leslie Caron. You know, she's just the most wonderful little actress, I think, coming up along nowadays.
Well, and she's wonderfully lucky to be playing with a man named Fred Astaire.
Oh, thank you very much.
Pardon me, Fred, couldn't you do one little step for us?
Yes, as you go on.
Do a
And over
step
the
across
top
the
of
handle, would you, Fred? One little step, just one little step, just across to the top. One little thing across.
One step. I don't know how to do one step like that.
Do one for each of us.
I think we've just got time to give you a really quick test on a final challenger. Would you sign in, please, ma'am? And we will dispense with the free guesses and also the walk down. And we will see what you can do with the occupation of Lillian Saul. Is that right?
That's right.
Is it Miss or Miss? And Miss Saul, where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Now you come with me. All right, panel, we're going to dispense with the wild guesses, and we'll just right now let the people at home know what Miss Saul's line is, but the panel, as usual, is going to have to try and work it out. And we don't have much time. So you know how we score this thing, Miss Saul?
Yes.
And we will announce that you're salaried and begin general questioning with Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Well, Miss Saul, I'm going to eliminate hair from Columbus by asking you, is it correct that you do not work for the Lazarus Company?
That's correct.
Do you work for some other company in Columbus?
Yes.
Is it indoor work?
Yes.
I would say, it's a matter of indoor to the degree that a lot of work is indoors, but you move around. Hmm?
Do you perform some kind of service?
Yes.
Is it a service that makes you visible to the people for whom you are performing the service?
Yes.
Do you do something with your hands?
No.
Not specifically. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you move about?
Yes.
Do you move about in a prescribed area?
No.
No. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Well, is there a product involved in what you do?
Yes, Mr. Lewis.
There is. Is this a product that, might be found, might the average family own one of these,
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Patsy.
Is the product something that is used on something else rather than by itself?
No.
No, that's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf. We've got about a minute to go.
Is the product, or has it ever been, or is it alive?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is this smaller than a telephone booth?
No.
No. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Lewis.
well, then is it relatively large?
Very good, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you so much. Does it have any moving parts, this product? It does have moving parts. Do you sell those things too? It has moving parts. Is it perhaps so large that it would not fit in the average home?
Yes.
Yes, and
Might
Bob,
you-
I'm sorry. I've got to flip the card over because we've run out of time.
Transportation?
It's got something. I think you're getting close because actually I'll have to tell you now, Miss Saul is an airplane salesman. Whose airplane?
Cessna Aircraft Company. That's right.
Miss Saul sells airplanes for the Cessna Airplane Company, and the average family like Robert Lewis can go get one from you. And thanks very much.
Thank
nice
you.
to have had you on What's My Line. Good night. We'll be back in... Oh, until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Dorothy.
Good night, John. And Bob, come again. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, Dorothy. Good night, Arlene.
Nice to have had you, Bob. Good night, Bennett.
Meet you at the barber shop. Good night, John.
Mr. Cerf, good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
Transportation for tonight's guests was arranged through American Airlines. American Airlines, the country's leading airline, now serving the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production, in association with the CBS Television Network. Be sure to watch Remington Rand's other television program, Masquerade Party, on another network. Check your newspaper listings for time and station.